This week's Torah portion, Parshas Vayetze, we learn about the 12 tribes of the Jewish people. Jacob running away from his brother Esav after he took the firstborn rights from him. And he goes to his uncle Lavan's house, where he goes and he meets the two young ladies, Rachel and Leah. And the story there unfolds that he's supposed to marry Rachel, and his uncle tricks him. He ends up marrying Leah first, and they have the 12 tribes are established. And something interesting to note about the names of the tribes. The names of the tribes, what's in a name that is? So here we see something very interesting, that all the names that were chosen have a deep meaning behind them. The name Reuven was given over because Reu means to see, and God saw her pain. Shimon also God heard her pain. And many of the names that we have of the tribes revolve around relationship with God, and God hearing our pain and seeing our pain and answering our prayers. And the question is, what does that have to do with the person's name? So the explanation given is the following, that a name is the essence of who we are. Now, we have English names, or we all have names, and many times our names mean something, and many times names don't mean something. But even though our name is just what we're called by, really we have to know what our essence is. Our essence is who we really are deep down inside. So sometimes a name will provide that, but sometimes if our name doesn't provide that, we have to look at ourselves and say, who am I? What defines me? And hopefully the traits of good, kindness, being a good person, those are the traits that define us, and they really define who we are. But we'll now continue with the singing of Lechadodi, the song we sing Friday night, written by the great Rabbi of Shlomo Alkabetz in the late 1400s. Lechadodi lekras kala pnei Shabbos nekabela lechadodi lekras kala pnei Shabbos nekabela shamor v'zachor v'dibur echad Hishmiyanu kel hamyuchad Hashem echad Ushma hoyachad L'shem ol sefer ez v'lesilah Chadodi likras kala Pnei Shabbos nekabela Likras Shabbos l'chuvin elcha Ki mikor habiracha Meirosh mikedem nisucha Sov ma'aseh b'machshavot chila Lechadodi likras kala Pnei Shabbos nekabela Mikdash melech Ir melucha kumitzi mitoch ha'afecha Rav lach sheves b'yemekabacha V'hu yachamol alayichem lechadodi lekras kala Pnei Shabbos nekabela Hisnarim yafar kumi Livshi bigdei sefartei chalmi Al yad ben yishai beis halachmi Karva el nafshi gi yahala lechadodi lekras kala Pnei Shabbos nekabela Hisahoreri Ki v'horechu miyori Uri shir daberi Kavod Hashem alayich nigla Lechadodi lekras kala Pnei Shabbos nekabela V'hayulim shisa shahosayich V'rachaku kameh v'halayich Yasis alayich elokayich Kim sozcha sanal kala Lechadodi lekras kala Pnei Shabbos nekabela Yamin usmal tehefrotzi V'yes Hashem daritzi Al Yad Ben Yishai Beit Oloch Mikarva El Nafshi Ala Lecha Dodi Lekras Kala Pnei Shabbos Nekavela Bawi B'Shalom Atares Ba'ala Gamberino V'Tzahala Tochem Uneyam Segula Ba'wikala Lecha Dodi Lekras Kala Pnei Shabbos Nekavela. Hanukkah is just 2 weeks away, so we're going to discuss some of the prayers and some of the miracles of Hanukkah. So we know there are two main miracles of the holiday of Hanukkah. The first one was the war that the Jewish people were fighting against the Greek. As mentioned before, at this point in history in Jerusalem, the Greeks were taking a lot of control over what was going on. They weren't necessarily trying to destroy the Jewish people, but they were influencing them not to serve God, to a point where there was a temple, yet it was no longer in service. And so the small group of Jewish people, they fought in battle and said, we can't have this happen. If we let them continue on their way, we'll be bereft without any more religion in the world. And they fought a hard battle and they won. And that was part of the celebration, the victory of the war. The other part of the celebration was now that they had the temple, they wanted to use the temple, they needed to find the oil. And they searched and they searched and they find a little bit of oil, but the process of getting fresh, pure olive oil would take a week. And they only had oil for 1 day. And as we know, a miracle occurred and the oil lasted for 8 days. And by 8 days, they had new oil and they were able to light the menorah in the temple from then on in. And the miracle of the oil teaches us something. When you have a little bit of hope, who says it's only a little bit of hope? Sometimes we think, what's the chances this is going to work out? It's so unlikely. There's a little bit, there's something there. It's very little, but we just say, the way the world would be, that it's not going to get us anywhere. We learn from the miracle of Hanukkah is that no, even if as long as there's a little bit, a sliver of hope, who knows how far that hope will take all of us. We're now finished with the singing of Adon Olam. Adon Olam Asher Malach B'Terem Kol Yitzir Nivra Li'es Nasa B'Chefso Kol Azai Mehelech Shemo Nikra V'Yacharei Kechlos HaKol Levahado Yimloch Nora V'Haya V'Hoveh V'Yiyeh B'Sifara V'Hu Echad V'Yein Sheni Hamshilo Lehachvira Bili Reishis, Bili Sachlis, Velo Hod, V'Hamizra, V'Hu Keli, V'Chai Goali, V'Tur Chevli, V'Yes Nasa, V'Hu Nisi, Umanosli, Minas Kosi, B'Yom Ekra, B'Yahado, Avkid Ruchi, V'yezishan v'yahira v'yemrochi gev'yasi ado shem li v'lo v'ira. And have a happy and healthy week, a great weekend, a great Shabbat. We'll see everybody next week.